There is a kind of desire that never asks for attention. It doesn't wear anything loud. It doesn't speak in declarations. It lives in softness, in silence, in the space between the words. A kind of craving that hides behind the most innocent phrases, waiting to be seen. You've probably heard it before, not during a passionate moment, but in a quiet one. Maybe at the end of a conversation when everything else had calmed down. Maybe in a simple message that seemed sweet, harmless, but something about it lingered. You felt something beneath the words, something she didn't say, but somehow you heard it anyway. Because when a woman wants intimacy, her body often speaks before her mouth does. Her energy shifts, her eyes hold longer, her words take on a certain rhythm, and it's never obvious. That's the point. The feminine doesn't reveal desire through volume. She does it through vibration. This is not about manipulation. It's not about playing games. It's about understanding the hidden language that women often speak without realizing. The language of closeness. The quiet signals of wanting to be touched, to be held, to be seen. Not just sexually, but emotionally, deeply, completely. This is what we're decoding today. 5 innocent things women say that carry more than words. Signals of intimacy. Moments of truth. And if you learn to listen, truly listen, you'll start hearing what most people miss. Let's begin. When she says she feels safe with you, it may sound like a compliment, a sweet acknowledgement, but it runs deeper than that. Safety is not just about protection. It's not just about physical comfort. It's about emotional surrender. For a woman, to feel safe is the gateway to desire. The body doesn't open when it's guarded. The feminine doesn't soften when it's afraid. But the moment she feels safe, something shifts. Her breath slows down. Her shoulders drop. The tension in her voice melts. And beneath that, desire starts to rise. Slowly, naturally. When she tells you she feels safe, what she may really be expressing is that she trusts you with parts of herself she rarely shows. Her softness, her tenderness, the part of her that wants to let go, but only when it knows it won't be judged or abandoned. In that feeling of safety, she begins to crave closeness, not always physical at first, but emotional, energetic, subtle. She may lean into you without knowing why. She may speak slower, or let silence sit longer between you. Her body is speaking. Her nervous system is asking a question that words cannot ask. Are you still here? Are you present with me now? And if the answer is yes, she goes deeper. This phrase is rarely about safety alone. It's about readiness, readiness to connect, to be touched, to explore, and not just in a sexual way, but in a way that makes her feel like she can exhale fully in your presence. That kind of safety is rare, and when she feels it, she doesn't forget it. So listen closely. When she says she feels safe, understand that she is handing you something sacred. She may not know exactly what she wants in that moment, but her energy does, her heart does. And if you're paying attention, you'll know exactly what to do. Not to take, not to assume, but to hold, to honor, and to feel with her. The next phrase is one of the most underestimated expressions of desire. When she says she loves your voice, it sounds like a compliment, casual, playful. But the truth is, women don't attach emotion to words without reason. When a woman notices your voice, she's not talking about the sound alone. She's responding to the frequency. The voice carries presence, and presence carries power. When a man speaks with clarity, calmness, and grounded intention, it creates a field that draws the feminine in. It creates a space where she can relax, where she can receive. Your voice becomes more than sound. It becomes sensation. She feels it in her skin, in her breath, in her chest. She may not know why, but something about hearing you settles her. It stirs her. It makes her feel connected. And when she says she loves it, she's often saying that it affects her in ways she can't quite explain. That your presence, through your voice, touches places inside her that few things can dot. It's not about speaking seductively or performing. It's about resonance. When you speak from your body, from a place of real attention and feeling, your voice carries truth, and women feel that deeply. So when she compliments your voice, pay attention. She might be inviting more than conversation. She might be telling you that your presence moves her, that it reaches her even without touch, that it awakens a part of her that longs to be near you, to hear you more, to be surrounded by the feeling your energy creates. She may ask you to repeat things. She may laugh longer than usual. She may sit in silence just to hear what you'll say next. These are not random reactions. They are her way of saying, I feel you, not just your words, but the man behind them, the energy, the intent, the safety, the desire. That understanding these subtle moments is not about decoding women as puzzles. It's about tuning into the emotional and energetic field that exists between you. These phrases, though simple, are often invitations, not for sex in the shallow sense, but for intimacy, for connection, for the kind of touch that starts long before your hands meet her skin, and that is where everything begins. The voice, to the feminine, is not just communication, it is comfort, it is containment, it is something she can rest in. When she says she loves it, she might be saying that your presence helps her return to herself, that when you speak, she doesn't have to perform, protect, or pretend. She can just be. And in that space, her desire starts to emerge, not always instantly, not always with heat, but with depth, a kind of wanting that doesn't need to be rushed, because it's rooted in something safe, something sacred. You may notice her breathing change when you speak. You may see her eyes soften, her posture shift. These are not conscious choices, they're responses. Her nervous system is recognizing something, her body is listening, and it's telling her it wants more. This is the art of intimacy. It's not about saying the right words, it's about being the right presence. A presence that allows her to open, slowly, on her own terms. A presence that doesn't demand, doesn't push, doesn't assume. It simply stays, steady, attuned, real. And sometimes, when she says something as simple as I love your voice, what she really means is that your presence feels like home. That she's drawn to you, not just for what you say, but for how you say it, for who you are beneath the words. These phrases may seem small, but in the world of feminine energy, small things are everything. What feels innocent is often layered with unspoken need. What sounds casual may carry a world of emotion. And if you learn to listen with more than your ears, you'll begin to feel what she's been trying to tell you all along. If you've ever felt drawn to someone without knowing why, the Jung Method helps you understand the hidden patterns behind emotional attraction. Link pinned in the first comment. Now let's go deeper. When a woman says she feels tired, there's often more behind those words than physical exhaustion. Of course, she may have had a long day, but if she says it in your presence, if she exhales deeply while saying it, or if she says it more than once, something else may be unfolding. Fatigue is one of the ways the feminine signals emotional overwhelm. It's how she expresses that she's been holding too much, carrying the weight of thoughts, responsibilities, expectations. And when she tells you she's tired, she may not be looking for a solution. She may be looking for permission to soften. What she truly desires in that moment might be rest, not just from activity, but from performance, from pressure, from being in control. And often, the presence of someone she trusts allows her to let go of those defenses, to collapse safely, to be held, not just physically, but emotionally. When she says she's tired, she may be inviting closeness. She may be telling you that her body craves stillness, not in solitude, but in intimacy. That she wants to lean into you, without needing to explain or justify it. That she longs to be in the kind of space where she doesn't have to think, only feel. And that feeling, in the right presence, often becomes sensual. The moment she no longer needs to protect herself, her feminine energy rises naturally. Her body responds to safety with openness. Her softness becomes more visible, her breath deeper, her longing more present. So don't rush to fix it. Just be still with her. Let her melt without pressure. Let her rest near you. And from that rest, intimacy may awaken in ways words could never create. Another phrase that holds hidden weight is when she says she feels disconnected. On the surface, it may sound like she's simply explaining her mood or emotional state, but often it's a signal, a quiet cry for reconnection, and sometimes even for physical intimacy. Disconnection to the feminine is not just about distance. It's about longing for attunement, for resonance, for the kind of closeness that lets her know you see her, feel her, and want her, not just physically, but fully. When she says she feels disconnected, especially in a vulnerable tone, it may mean she's been drifting internally, that she's been living in her head, in her responsibilities, in her fears. And what she may be asking, beneath those words, is, will you come find me? Sometimes, touch is the answer. Sometimes, presence is. Sometimes, it's a slow conversation, where nothing is solved but everything is shared. When a woman says she feels disconnected, it is rarely just an update. It is often an invitation. To sit with her in the space she cannot name, to reach her where words no longer work, to remind her that her heart still matters, her body still matters, that you notice, that you care, that you're still here. When received with presence, this phrase can become the doorway to emotional intimacy. And emotional intimacy, for many women, is what awakens physical desire, not performance, not pressure, but presence. Feeling emotionally held makes her body want to be physically held. So hear her words, but listen to her energy. Feel what she's trying to say, not with logic, but with awareness, with patience, with empathy. When she feels reconnected, her energy flows again, her warmth returns, her sensuality rises, and she meets you with a softness that only exists when she no longer feels alone inside. Her self-Tao comes one of the most underestimated phrases of all. When she says you smell good, simple, harmless, or so it seems. The sense of smell is directly connected to memory, emotion, and arousal. It bypasses thought and speaks directly to the limbic system, the part of the brain responsible for desire and attachment. When a woman comments on your scent, even casually, it often means she has felt something visceral. She's not just noticing your cologne or skin, she's feeling your presence at a primal level. She's associating you with something comforting or exciting, or both. It means she's paying attention, that her body is registering you in ways her mind hasn't fully articulated. If she leans in when saying it, if she closes her eyes, if she smiles in a certain way, it's not just a compliment, it's a response, a signal that your presence is affecting her physically, that she is drawn to you, perhaps even subconsciously, and her body is asking for more closeness. Many times, this phrase is a mask, a way to express desire without making it obvious. She may not be ready to say what she's feeling, but this is her way of letting you know that something inside her is stirred, that she's noticing you not just as a person, but as a man, as a presence, as something she wants closer. This is often the beginning, the moment when physical attraction becomes embodied, when her energy shifts from observation to longing, when her nervous system signals readiness, maybe not for immediate intimacy, but for nearness, for warmth, for the kind of contact that doesn't need to be labeled or explained. So when she says you smell good, don't just say thank you. Feel it. Feel the opening. Feel the connection her body is creating. And respond, not with words, but with presence. That is what she's asking for, even if she doesn't say it. Because in truth, these innocent phrases are never just about what they appear to be. They are about energy, emotion, invitation. They are expressions of trust, of vulnerability, of desire, wrapped in softness. To understand the feminine is to read what is felt, not just what is spoken. To listen beneath the surface. To be attuned to the moment her body shifts, even slightly, toward you. These moments are not loud, they're quiet, but they are powerful. They are the spaces where intimacy begins, long before anything physical ever happens. And if you learn to meet those moments with presence, she will open in ways she didn't even know she could. That is the power of awareness. That is the power of the masculine that listens. That is the invitation she's been waiting to give.